Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Petty here with you today. It is currently the 20th, going into the 21st of April 2014. I hope everybody that was celebrating the Easter holiday weekend out there did have themselves a decent Sunday. But what we're going to be talking about out here into the Western Pacific as far as the weather today is a few areas of activity. And first and foremost, we do have a new tropical depression. Now, this is not named at this time. It is a tropical depression via JMA, and we can see here actually from their latest analysis, they do have a TD right there. And over the course of the next, so actually that's a 48-hour forecast. TD's right here on the 20 or on the current analysis, and in 48 hours they still expect a tropical depression as that system really just works its way off there towards the west. It's not very impressive though at this time. We do have some convection wrapping around it, especially on the northwestern periphery. The low-level circulation though is there, and that is why I think JMA has no contest on if this is a tropical depression or not. Really, you just see on the visible imagery before the sun went down, we had those low-level clouds wrapping around from the south, all that convection on the northern periphery, and this is another classic example of what is happening here. You have the northeast monsoon off towards the north, and that has this high pressure which is pushing down towards the south. It's interacting with the easterlies, and what happens is that comes through here and then it spins. And what we see quite often this time of year is at the tail end of that rate, that spin, we get these tropical depressions. Now, it may very well become a tropical storm. Am I saying that's going to happen, at least at this time? Well, JMA is not expecting it. JTWC still does not have much of anything on this, but they do, at the very least, have it as a tropical depression expected to continue to move off there towards the west. So let's take a look at a few of the models with this area here in the tropics, and this is first from the GFS, and we look ahead into Tuesday. It is going to continue to track off there towards the west, and just like every other time we see a storm system about this intensity, I mean, it doesn't bring that high of winds. Down here towards the bottom of your screen, you can see upwards about 30 knots, so we're looking at 60 to 65 kilometers per hour. Yes, that can cause a little bit of damage, but nothing that's going to bring a significant storm surge basically throughout the day here on Tuesday. But it is going to be a big rainmaker. And see the ECMWF total accumulation outlook here, and we scroll ahead out to about 72 hours. In some areas there of southern Samar, much of Mindanao, you do see that heaviest precipitation, and you could see a few locations upwards of about maybe 200 to 300 millimeters. I don't think through Tuesday. Let's go ahead to Wednesday and the Thursday. You see that precipitation line up. ECMWF kind of has the bulk of that convection, though, really just remaining off there towards the west as this does continue to track off there, or excuse me, off towards the east as it does continue to track off there on that westerly progression. Now, I do expect it to continue on that westerly progression, though. You can see here from the JMA upper level analysis, this is the 500 HPA. Right here we have the jet stream. It runs right through here. And just south of that, it's the subtropical ridge, all right? And then we have our tropical depression right in this area. That's going to stay south of that subtropical ridge and continue off on that westerly progression south of, well, everything else going on off there towards the north. And we do have the rainy season front even setting up under that jet stream. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So is this going to basically move north? I think that is highly unlikely at this time. I strongly believe that this area is going to continue off on this westerly track. Like I said, it's going to be a rainmaker, and we are going to look at some gale force winds. You can see the date up there on the top right. This is on the 21st, now heading off there towards basically Tuesday afternoon. This low does continue to track there and making landfall. At least according to this particular model, and I think it's right about spot on. It compares up pretty well with the other models, and just given the distance it is towards the east, so I would give it about 2 to 3 days. We're going to see it come on shore by about Tuesday afternoon in the evening, but, I mean, every time we get a weak storm system, when they come on shore, it doesn't really matter. It's just going to be a big bulk of convection and some heavy rainfall coming in from this tropical depression. So, will Pagasa name it? That's a question that I think is up for debate. May very well, at least at this time. They have not put anything out on it, but If they do, we'll definitely continue to check back in and keep you updated. Not just here at westernpacificweather.com, but please do go check our Facebook page. We do put out a whole slew of information of what is going on out here across the Western Pacific, not just with the tropics, but also off here towards the north where we do have the rainy season front. And we have a low actually just towards the south of Japan right now. You see these winds wrapping around the southern periphery of it. But also we have it rain back here towards the west. And that is very typical this time of year. You get these lows one after another. They basically set up with the retreating Siberian high over Mongolia and the Westpac high pushing in, and that a whole troughing basically starts to set up out here, and that starts to make for just a persistent rainfall. And that's going to be the thing over the coming days. Basically, the southern Japanese islands, eastern portions of China. We're talking about the Yangtze River Basin south, maybe northern Taiwan. I mean, right there is a perfect example. You can see just that big stretch of rainfall with the high off here towards the north. That's keeping our tropical depression towards the south. But that is just a perfect example right there of that Mayu Bayou front starting to set in. So this is typical for mid-April going into May. We start to see that set up, high pressure ridge, and any tropical systems that develop, they'll be weak in impacting the Philippines. So everything seems pretty spot on as far as climatology is concerned. Temperatures, well, at least at this time, we can pull up a few locations here. In Taipei, looking at a high of 20. I'll scroll a little bit there towards the right. Taipei high of 20, upwards of Singapore into the high 20s. Actually, this is Beijing up to about 18, and even over towards Palau here into the mid 20s. So stay warm out there, everybody. Stay safe. And as always, thanks for watching. Like I said, though, we will have more information at our Facebook page on this storm system, so please do go check in with that if we get any more updates from JMA, if they do decide to upgrade this to a tropical storm. JTWC, also Pagasa, if they do decide on naming it. But right now it is a tropical depression, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, based on their, weather maps. Now, one more time, though, they have not expected this to become a tropical storm at this time or a named storm system, and they don't have any warnings out on it just yet. All right, stay safe out there, and thanks for watching. Bye.